Hello, everyone. Welcome to Alphawisdom. Mystic Cassandria here, and this is 161. This week we are talking about the fate line, and we're going to see examples of palms, and I will analyze the palm, go in as great a detail as I possibly can. So let's hear about this. Last, a little more information. When we talk about the fate line, as you know, it has several names. It could be the line of Saturn, and it's called line of Saturn because the fate line heads toward the middle finger. No matter where it comes from, whether it's from the center of the palm, inside the thumb ball or the Venus mount, or inside the lifeline, or it can come from the lunar area. But they all head toward the center to reach the middle finger, and that is called Saturn. So because it goes to the line of where Saturn is, it gets the name line of Saturn. So when we think of the fate line, we're talking about, as far as specific aspects of the personality, we're talking about structure, we're talking about direction, and in the direction involves duties, what you're doing, your regimen, your work, and your responsibilities. All of these fall under the heading. Now, as we've already seen, strong lines in general show that we're living with purpose, energy, as well as passion, while feathery lines, we haven't gotten to that just yet, will show vulnerability, emotional or physical. A little delicacy there. A line that is relatively weak suggests a lack of energy and attention in each area. Ideally, lines should be quite equal in depth and reflect a general balance in our personality. That is to say, when we talk about the lifeline, the headline, the heart line, and the fate line, there should be some kind of balance there. Because if there is no balance, one of the lines will dominate. And it's usually at the expense of another line or area of your life. Often this dominant line or area acts as a cover for the real problem underneath, as revealed by the dominant line. So that will happen. I'll try to make sure we cover that sometime this week a little more. So we're still talking about the strong lines now. So when the fate line is the strong line, we are driven or weighted down by responsibilities. You know, whenever you do something, there's some responsibility there, such as, simple as example, putting food on the table or feel the need to work flat out. Love and interest, as well as work that is a true labor of love, may take a back seat. So you're so involved with your work, with that strong line, it's not that you forget, but the work becomes priority one. Okay? All right. We left with the last video, and I want to cover just a little more. Now, we talked about this line. That's your fate line here. Now, there's a line coming from here. That's not fate. That is Mercury, health line. Now, normally we could say that, oh, that looks strong. But look carefully, because you have a line here, and then you've got one here. So there's a little disruption, sort of, in the health of the person. So because the line, when it comes in, it stays strong. That's a good sign. That is a good sign. That means the person is working on themselves, but not, it's an issue that comes and goes because we've got some other lines here. This line is coming, going too. So it just talks about the health. Anything that goes toward this line from here, then it's something you need to concern yourself with. It may not be serious. It doesn't look serious, but it's just something you don't want to ignore. Okay? Now, we don't have an Apollo line here, but I wanted to point out this area in here. lifeline is joined at the beginning, and that's to about age 19, almost 20, to the headline. They're joined together, and there's disruption in the energy here. So maybe there is disruption in the family. I don't get the feeling of health, but it's like dissatisfaction, a little bit of anger going on here. Maybe even a little tears in the groin because it goes way back here. All right? Because it looks like there's a little more disruption with the headline as opposed to the lifeline. If you could see it closely here, magnifying glasses are very good. Okay? And here we have just a little disruption once they break away. So maybe it was a little difficult to break away, but look at that lifeline. That's strong. That's strong. Once that disruption is over, then strong. And then we have line going up. This is good. That when the line is longer like these are, that just indicates some kind of recognition for the person. Okay? Heart line looks good. Looks like this person is somewhat leaning toward someone that cares and takes care of people, animals perhaps. But this line also goes up toward the index finger. So that looks good. A little disruption over here. Let's just take a peek at the fingers because I want to try to bring in some things we've talked about. These look pretty well balanced. And this is leaning toward a little long, but not long enough to say that because this is a long palm, shorter fingers, fire hand. Very flexible thumb. There's stress in this hand because these horizontal lines worry. A little too much worrying here. But other than that, that's okay. So let's go on to the next one. All right. Focusing on the lifeline. Let's take a look at this one. There are a few lines in this palm. So this would be a plain palm. Here we go with this line. Okay, so this person indicating started working at a very young age. Early teens, I'd say. Early teens. I'm getting around 12, I'd say. 11 and 12. It goes on and on and on. But when it gets here, you notice the line switches over between the middle finger and the ring finger. When it goes like this, it indicates loss of interest. It's like, I've lost the thrill is gone. I don't know whether I want to continue. It's like continuing, but not putting your love or your energy into it. You're just doing just enough. Not very happy. Not very happy. Now, maybe that's how the hand looked when this picture was taken. We do have choices. It doesn't have to be that way. But it started at an earlier age, this turn, I'd say about right here. So that's going toward the late 50s. I get around 57. It's where something happened or they decided, well, maybe they found something else, but there's no indication on the hand that there is another interest, some kind of work. Okay, so let's just go ahead and peep here. Heart line looks good. Okay, and the headline looks all right. It's strong. There's a big gap there. Worry lines in here. Looks like a little crease here. And that's loyalty or sorrow or a big hurt, something that affected them early in life. These always start early in life when you see these. They don't start later in life. If it's meant to be, it's going to be from something that occurred in, I'd say, childhood, before teenage years. Okay? All right, let's just peep up here. This is a long index finger. It looks like it's almost the length of the middle finger. That is a leader. Yes, the longer the finger, the more self-confidence, self-esteem that they naturally have. It's overshadowing the ring finger. This is public. So it's like they're not interested in the public. They know they have it. Now, this is a short finger, but it's not quite low set, somewhat low set, because this should be more with this. Low set indicates there is some separation with the upbringing with the male, the father. Okay, we haven't talked about that recently, but I did introduce it to you. Okay, well, I want to move on to one more where we have the strong enough for you to see. All right, let's take a look at this hand, and we're looking at the lifeline. It comes from the lunar area, and it's going up and up and up, and where it separates here, but it's not broken. So this person is working or actively involved with something in their 70s. That's good. People are working longer, but the line isn't broken, so apparently they enjoy it because they selected the work themselves, and it is work that is service-oriented, remember. Okay, now we do have a line coming up that is Mercury line. That shows intelligence, solid line. And we have, look at the lifeline, curving downward. Looks like it's going to go straight, but it kind of changes. So this is somewhat of the curve is here, but then it's kind of going straight from that curve. Then it wants to do a little curve here. So I would say experience in this person's life. But basically, this is almost a Sydney line. Sydney line is those that go, well, Sydney really kind of goes straight across. But this comes, it dips, and then it goes straight. So it's almost like, but it's not actually, a curve where it's more into, perhaps now they're trying to be, rather than facts and figures, you have to prove to me before I accept what you're saying. But this is more into like imagination, emotion, intuition. But you get a feel of that only at this part. Also, there's a line coming here. Thin, but this is the dominant of the two. So it's a fork here. Going straight indicates facts and figures. I can't believe it until you prove it to me. The curve indicates more imagination, more artistic, okay? And finally, let's take a look at the fingers. This is longer, so that's not the big self-esteem as we saw in the other. But this is fairly long. So this stands out. Okay, I think we've come to the end of this one. I know some of these are running long, but that's kind of how it is. I'll try not to go too much. But anyway, next video, we're going to continue with this, and we're going to be looking at lines that are fragmented as opposed to those that are very strong. Well, if you liked and understood, please give a thumbs up and share and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks to those who have. Well, thanks for watching. Take care and be happy. Bye.